Joined by Ohio State head coach Ryan Day. And Coach Day, I'll just start Big Ten Media Days here. What was it about Julian, Jeremiah, and Jaylen McClain that made you want to bring them along?
Well, we had a lot of guys that we could have chosen. When you look at our offensive line, you look at Carson, Luke, and Austin. I mean, these are guys that really are leaders of our team. But the difficult thing is one guy was Heisman Trophy finalist, and Jeremiah is arguably the best player in college football. So, and then we wanted to make sure we had somebody on defense that counted it out. And so, I think when you look at Jalen's important for us for a lot of reasons. He has to replace a big hole in Caleb, and what I mean by that is not just the production, but the communication back there and getting everybody on the same page. And so he's one of the elder statesmen back there. He's done everything right. He's had a great off season, and it's good to have him here.
All right, well, we'll stay on defense. I talked to a couple guys last week, and kind of Peyton Pierce talked about how year 2 under Matt Patricia, the install's done. Have you seen the difference in off seasons and the impact that can make on a defense?
Yeah, for sure. And I think, every year you have a different story. You have a different group of guys. I think we're excited to see what this group looks like. Some real good talent there, but it's going to be different than last year. Not to say it's going to be the same is not true. And so, also being year 2 in Matt's system, it's not all new for them. So for the guys who have been in the program for a while, like Kenyatta Jackson, Peyton Pierce, Jaylen McClain, Jermaine Matthews, now that we can take the next step with those guys, but there are some guys that are in year 1, like some of those portal guys and some of the freshmen.
All right. On the other side, it is a new install, and I've realized we've had a chance to talk to you quite a bit since Arthur Smith got here. I don't think anybody knows what this offense looks like. You have done a phenomenal job keeping it under wraps. Is there anything that you can tell me that's different, or what this is going to look like when you take the field in the fall?
No, it's a combination of some things that Arthur's done, a combination of things that we've done, and I think he doesn't have such an ego like, hey, we're going to do it this way. This is my offense. No, it's the Ohio State offense. But we're also in a situation where we're inviting these new ideas and different perspectives, whether it comes to how we call things, how we move people around, the way that we game plan, the way that we scheme. So I'm excited to kind of see where it goes, but the early returns on the interaction Arthur's had with our staff and with our players has been excellent.
Julian talked a lot about the impact of Arthur Smith. I want to ask about his leadership because it's always been such a key topic. And from a coaching perspective, you never want to force a captaincy, obviously. That's up to the players to vote on. But do you think that gives an added boost when someone is named a captain? And for like a quarterback like Julian who's chasing something along those lines, how important is it for him to kind of earn something like that, or at least be that guy for these?
Well, it comes from the team. They're the ones who vote on it. The coaches don't vote on that, neither does Mick. So it's going to come down to what the guys feel. Mm-hmm. And I think, when I was named a captain when I was in college, it was a huge deal because your peers respect you enough to name you a captain of the team. It does give you a certain level of confidence.
When you look at Jeremiah, to see him, it's kind of crazy walking around here, the star of the show, year 3.
Right.
What's it been like just as a coach to watch him grow? And he said he's been a lot more vocal this offseason trying to lead this offense.
Well, when you start the recruiting process, you have a young man, and he came in about as ready as anybody physically. But like anything else, it's more than just, your physical ability. He's grown up emotionally. He's grown these experiences. He's won a national championship. He's done a lot of things in a short period of time. And I think for Jeremiah, he has an impact, on a young generation. They all look up to him. He's like a cult, hero. Mm-hmm. Guys love watching Jeremiah and learning from him. And so many people across the country, like, who's your favorite player? Jeremiah Smith. And with that comes great responsibility. I think he recognizes that now. But I think he also recognizes how the guys on the team look up to him because of what he's done on the field, his work ethic, the discipline that he lives his life with. So it's his responsibility now to step up and to be a leader and make sure that he knows everybody's watching him. So that's got to pay off for us, and it will.
Talk to Jeremiah about this. You guys were here last year, and the message last year was we won a championship, but it's a different team.
Yep.
Now you kind of come from the other side of things. There's another guy walking around here. He's the defending champ. Do you like that a little bit? Does that give you the edge? Or is this just another, hey, new year, let's move on and let's go chase a title?
I mean, we don't need motivation.
That's a good point.
We're highly, highly motivated. We want to win every game. But that being said, I mean, you're talking about guys like Julian and their offensive line, and the guys who are returning who came up short last year, and a coaching staff that came up short last year. So, we have a bad taste in our mouth. Nothing motivates you more than losing a game, I guess. But we don't need that. I mean, we want to win them all. When you look at kind of how we started last year with the Texas game and through the regular season, you win 12 straight, but you just don't finish the season the right way. And so we had to identify why those things were and get those things fixed. This year's a completely different story. Different group of guys, mostly on defense, but also the schedule is very, very different. There's a monster schedule we have. So we're going to be salty in season like we've never been before late in the season because of our schedule. You look at the road games that we have to play this year. I mean, it's going to be great because it's such a great challenge, and we got to be on every week.
One of my favorite things that I don't think a lot of people know is the books that you guys read in the summer. And you talked on stage about the military message you guys have been saying. How important is that to the locker room? Kind of what has that message been this summer?
Well, the book that we're reading is Legacy, which is a book about the New Zealand rugby team. And for us, we want to leave a legacy behind. In a day and age where it's about NIL, it's about me, it's about how much money can I make. These guys need to understand they're at Ohio State. And this program means more than anything else. It's bigger than any one person. And so we want to leave a legacy behind. How do you leave a legacy behind? Well, you do it by leaving the jersey in a better place than you found it, leaving something behind. But it also is by winning. You want to tell your story, you want to leave a legacy behind. Leave a legacy of winning. Win the rivalry game. Win the Big Ten championship, win a national championship. And that's really, really important. And so when you come back in 10, 20 years down the line, you can be proud of what you've done to uphold the tradition of Ohio State.
Well, I am joined now by Ohio State quarterback Julian Sayin. So, Julian, your first Big Ten Media Days, how's it been for you so far?
It's been fun, yeah. It's been fun, getting to talk about the season, and we can't wait for the season, so I'm excited.
You walk into this room, the Big Ten trophy, national championship trophies, there's a Heisman trophy over there. How real does it make it feel that, football season's here?
Football season's here. It's been a fun off season with this group, and we just can't wait for camp to start and for first game to get going. So,
Julian, we've talked about it before, but you're entering year 2 as the starter under center. How pumped are you to just really lead these guys even more this season?
Yeah, super pumped. Having a veteran group like we do and having a lot of familiar faces in that huddle, it makes it very exciting, and we can't wait to kick it off.
Something personally that's really stood out to me about you kind of this offseason is how more vocal you are. You're fiery in the huddle. You're very vocal with these guys. Is that something you worked on this offseason?
Yeah, I think Coach Mick definitely challenged me in the weight room to do some of that, and I think I've developed that area, and I'm still chasing more growth there, so it's been fun.
I think about your first game as the starter for Ohio State is against Texas. It's a top 5 matchup. How often do you look back at that, giving you the confidence that you can be thrown into any fire and you're going to be just fine?
Yeah, that game was a lot of fun, and to be able to kind of just develop and continue developing that confidence throughout the season was great because there's nothing like the experience. So to have that last season experience is great, and I think try to build on it this season.
How often do you look at, I know we don't want to look too far ahead with the schedule, but you get your get back against a team like Indiana. You get to face Texas again in Austin, and then, of course, you've got the team up north. How often do you look at all those matchups?
Oh, we look at it a lot. The Week 2 game in Austin is going to be a blast. We're excited to kick it off and get rolling here.
Talk to me about practicing with 51 new faces on this roster. You've got some new coaches, a new OC in Arthur Smith. How has that adjustment been for you, and how has it maybe tested you to be an even better football player?
It's been great. Connecting with Coach Smith, he's been awesome, and somebody who I can learn a lot from, and been picking his brain, and just to be around somebody who's been an NFL head coach and been an NFL offensive coordinator. It's been great to have him.
How do you feel that him making the move to Columbus is going to really make you maybe use your legs a little bit more this season, kind of up your game in that way?
Yeah, I think he brings a lot of great things offensively, and that's kind of an area I've been working this offseason is just kind of finding the time to know when it is to take off, and getting stronger and faster in the weight room.
What has your message been specifically to this defense? Because there's been a lot of chatter. You guys lost a lot of guys last year to the NFL. A guy like Caleb Downs no longer here. As a leader on this team, what have you told those guys about what this season kind of looks like for them?
Yeah, I think when you have somebody like Coach Patricia on that defense, running that defense, it gives you a lot of confidence in that group. And so I'm excited to see how they do this season, and I have a lot of confidence in them.
Now, you brought home a national title 2 years ago. You beat the team up north last season. Julian, what would it mean to you to accomplish all three of those things in one season?
Yeah, those are our goals. And so, we it would mean a lot to our fan base, to mean a lot to this team. So we like I said, we just can't wait to kick it off this season and get going.
Now, there's been a lot of chatter from SEC media days, just in general, that the SEC is the better conference, the tougher schedule. I don't want to put you on the spot, but what are your thoughts on all that?
I mean, you look at the last 3 national championships. It's Big Ten. It definitely is the better conference.
How much do you enjoy playing an SEC team like a Texas in the regular season?
It's awesome to have a big time matchup in week 2, and play some of those big time matchups in non-conference games.
And just kind of a last one for you, Julian. Heading into year 2 as the starter, what's the goal for you, and how would you end this year? Just really proud of what you've accomplished out there.
National championship is what we want, so that's the goal.
What would it mean to you to make a trip back to New York City for that Heisman Trophy this
year? It would be awesome. It would be awesome to be there, but really focused on the team goals and winning a national championship.
And last one for you, the relationship that you and Jeremiah Smith have, not only off the field but on the field, it's truly mesmerizing to watch. How excited are you to get to play catch with him this season? I
mean, it's been fun to kind of build our connection this offseason and keep enhancing it, and he's somebody who's a lot of fun to throw to, for sure.
Awesome. Thanks, Julian.
All right, joined by Jeremiah Smith, and I'll start with the easiest question of them all. What's it like to be at Big Ten Media Day and have everybody want to put a mic and hear from you?
Yeah, it feels good, to be here to represent Ohio State, represent the university, represent Ohio State football. So it's a blessing to be here and represent my school.
Jeremiah, we've seen you grow from a guy that came on campus with so many expectations. How have you seen yourself grow through these past 3 seasons?
Yeah, I think just taking that step, being a leader. I think coming as a freshman, I didn't really talk to nobody. Kept to myself, just came in all about football, just wanted to work. Last year, starting to step out my comfort zone a little bit. But this year, I think I really established that, stepping out my comfort zone, encouraging guys. We got 51 new guys on the roster, so just trying to be a role model to them guys, show the way we do things here at Ohio State. So.
The way we do things. A little new way in the wide receiver room with Cortez Hankton. You guys seem to have a great bond. How's that been?
Yeah, it's been good, man. I love Coach Hank. Bring a lot of juice to the receiver room, and I'm blessed to have him. Can't wait to go into the season with him.
What is that receiver room like? Got to talk to B.I. He said that it's surprisingly incredibly close with a lot of new faces, but you guys are incredibly close.
Yeah, we're very close. I mean, we did a lot of things just off season with each other. Went out to dinner, went out to breakfast and stuff like that. So I mean, this receiver group is very close this season.
What's your favorite thing that you guys did? You got one that jumped out to you?
I say we went out to Jeff Ruby's with Coach Hank. Yeah, we all went out, had a good dinner with each other.
When you think about that bonding time, I know nobody works harder in practice than you, but how important can that be for this team? Because it feels like when Coach Day talks about scars. You guys know the scars, but when you're leaning on each other in December and January, how much can those meals just at Jeff Ruby in the summer help?
Yeah, I mean, it helps a lot. Talking to the guys in your room, knowing their background, knowing their family, knowing the things that they've been through in life, really makes you want to play even harder for them. So, like Coach Day said, I mean, them things go play off in November, December, and January. So, I mean, it means a lot.
Jeremiah, we know that you're a dominant football player. How do you – I remember thinking back to when you were just a freshman. We were talking about you couldn't go to Target. How do you go about your day-to-day life and still enjoy – I mean, obviously you're going to have an amazing career ahead of you. How do you get away from all the lights that shine at Big Ten Media Day?
Yeah, I mean, I could say I'm a pretty boring guy, man. I don't really do much besides being in the house, playing video games. That's really and watching shows. I mean, I don't really do much when I'm in Columbus. When I go back home, I have a little fun because the people don't really know me. I mean, they know me, but I'm in Miami. It's stars everywhere, so nobody ain't gonna be thinking about me for real. So, man, I don't really do nothing in Columbus.
Cars stand out a little more in Columbus than they do.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got to ask you because I saw a thing where your first NIL check is this. You bought your grandma a house.
Yeah.
How special is that for you? I mean, that's an amazing thing to do.
Yeah.
You dream of that's what I mean. Kids dream about that.
Yeah, for sure.
To be able to do that.
Yeah, it's a blessing for sure. I mean, God bless me to be in a position right now, to bless my family and bless other people around me. So it's pretty special to do something like that for my grandma.
All right, 2 more questions. A lot of talk about the SEC. There's 3 trophies up there that are the Big Tens. How do you feel when everybody starts talking about conference rivalries and who's better and this, that, and the other?
Yeah, I mean, you could give it It's an argument for sure. I mean, the SEC, they've been doing it for a pretty long time. I mean, we starting to pick it up now. I mean, we got 3 back-to-back. Hopefully we get 4 up there. But I think right now, I think the Big Ten is killing it right now.
You talk about getting 4. You have a ring.
Yep.
We're not going to talk about the future, but to be able to add another ring,
Yeah.
what would that mean as a junior at Ohio State?
That would mean a lot. That I have two rings. That's added to my legacy, really. You could say that, yeah.
Do you think about that? Do you think about, like, Mount Rushmore of Ohio State receivers? There's a world where you finish this thing and you're on your own Mount Rushmore.
Sure, yeah. I mean, yeah, I think about that for sure. Being the top dog when it's all said and done. But, I mean, we got a lot of good guys in our super room right now that just came in. That probably passed me, so, yeah, we'll see.
Well, I'm joined now by Jaylen McClain. And Jaylen, your first Big Ten Media Days.
Yeah.
How are you feeling?
No, I feel good. Just blessed being in this type of space. Be with these amount of people, great athletes, great coaches, and just be able to be picked by my coach and the staff is just a blessing.
Yeah, how special is that Coach picked you out of you and Julian and Jeremiah Smith to come and represent Ohio State?
Represent this program, in my state, and Buckeye Nation, is obviously, like I said, it's a blessing. And to be with 2 great athletes like Julian and Jeremiah, to be in that great company just means that they see something in me too.
When you walk into this room, there's the Big Ten title trophy, a national championship trophy. How much does that make you eager to bring some of those home to Columbus?
I'm always excited, to play some football, but, also to compete for championships and, play for, like I said, the state, to have the national championship trophy in here, the Big Ten trophy in here, that's something you strive for, that's obviously something we go after every season. So, to be around it, obviously makes me a little bit excited.
It should, right? It should. And Jaylen, whenever Big Ten Media Days rolls around, it means football is here. Mm-hmm. Football is always there in Columbus, but how eager are you to just get out on the field and do your thing?
Obviously I'm really excited. I have a great opportunity this season to showcase my talents and show what I'm made of. Obviously, we had a player like Caleb Downs last year come through here and to light up the stage, and obviously I'm excited to do the same thing.
You say show what you're made of. What are you made of? What are you going to show all these fans this year?
No, they'll see it this year, but obviously, I'm just excited, just be free and just play my game.
You talk about losing a guy like Caleb Downs. You guys lost 7 starters on the defensive side, but we've talked before. That doesn't seem to bother you. You have something to prove this year, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I have something to prove. All the time, anytime I step on the field. But obviously, with us losing that many people, I feel like that leaves the opportunity for more people to step up and to show what they're capable of doing too.
How eager are you to prove yourself this year? Because I feel like going into this season, you still have a lot to show.
Yeah, obviously I'm just being me. Play the best ball that I can play, and whether that's just me being the best leader, and I'm just be the best DB in the country.
Talk about playing for a guy like Matt Patricia, his second year in Columbus. He's such a player's coach, and you can just tell how loved he is by all of you guys.
Right, yeah, of course. Yeah, Matt Patricia, great coach, proven coach, player's coach, like you said, and obviously, sets the defense well, with this scheme, and I'm just excited to play for it.
You go up against one of the best offenses in the country every single day at practice. One of those dudes happens to be here today, right. Jeremiah Smith. We talk about it all the time. Iron sharpens iron. Exactly. Do you believe that to be true?
Oh, yeah, for sure. To go against somebody like Jeremiah and obviously like Julian every day, the physical game, the mind games, to be able to play with each other just makes me better.
What's your goal going into this year, Jaylen, and how do you hope to kind of end this season?
My goal is to beat the team on North, Big Ten championship, national championship, and obviously, as an individual, you want to be the best DB. So obviously, I'm gonna try to go after the thorpe. Keep it in Columbus.
You guys have yet to accomplish all 3 in one season. You beat the team up north last year. You took home a national title 2 years ago. What would it mean to you to accomplish all 3 of those things this season?
It means everything. Obviously, it's an individual goal, but also, a state goal, program goal. And obviously, for someone like Coach Day, who's a great coach, we want to go get that for him.
And Jaylen, I got to ask, because there's been a lot of talk from the SEC about them being the better conference, tougher schedule. Not to put you on the spot, but what are your thoughts about all that?
I would just say that, the Big Ten, we won the last 3 national championships. So obviously, we plan on doing the same thing this year, but, with being in Ohio, so that's all I got to say to that. And
just a couple last ones for you, Jaylen. When you look back at your career so far at Ohio State, how proud are you of what you've accomplished and kind of this leadership role that you've really flourished in?
Yeah, I'll say I'm proud of myself. This is something that, since I was young, this is what I've been dreaming, and I'm just, I'm living it, and I'm just blessed to be in this situation. I'm take full advantage of it. I don't take this for granted.
I got to know, you guys can get your get back against Indiana this season. Of course, you're facing Texas again.
Right.
How juiced are you to get back out there and face those guys?
Yeah, I'm really eager, for that opportunity. Obviously, great programs, and this is what you come here for. Play against great teams like that and compete at the highest level.